gone into and now come out of. We've gonded and now we've comed. Super quick. Was that pretty quick? What do you all think? Refresh. Yeah, it is time to refresh. So do a little refresh, partner. That should be a little better. It should be easy. It should help with some cutouts. Hopefully. It should help. So we'll see. The United States and a handful of allies, including Britain, struck back, carrying out missile strikes on the Houthi targets inside Yemen early Friday local time, and thrusting the rebels. And their long-running armed struggle into the limelight. So this shit is crazy. This could easily make us have like a war in Yemen. This could be the beginning of a war in Yemen, or like a massive amount of new blockades and sanctions on Yemen, especially since that we've backed Saudi Arabia's, what I would personally consider the genocide of Yemen. What are we going to do now? What's the end game in all of this? What's the plan? What is the plan? What are you going to do now, Mr. Biden? And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Houthis are attacking the ships in the Suez Canal. Originally, they said that they want to attack ships that are destined for Israel in support of Palestinians. But they're not only attacking those ships; they're attacking sorry, I think I muted myself. They're attacking a lot of different ships that are going to several different places, not just Israel as well. So now the Suez Canal is being threatened by like Somali pirates and also Houthi rebels. The attack on the Houthi base came a day after the United Nations Security Council voted to condemn in the strongest terms at least 24 attacks carried out by the Houthis on merchant and commercial vessels, which had impeded global commerce and undermined naval freedom. Now, am I right here? But I heard something, and I want to look into this really quick. This is our, like I said, this is our time to do a little bit of research. I heard that the U.S. asked Djibouti if it could place missiles in its country, and Djibouti said no. Let me see. This is one of the first times fucking Djibouti has ever come up in national news. Yeah, I'm not sure how true this is, but I found one article on this. Here, let's see. You have to be careful. I can't really find that many articles reporting on this, but also here, like, look at how crazy this is. And this might change. This might have changed since earlier today, but let me see. Here, let's see. Oh, fuck. Stop. Yeah. there were almost no like North America, like US news organizations covering um South Africa's case in the IJC against Israel. Like here's some from like 5 hours ago, but I'm talking about like on TV. There was almost a complete TV blackout. CNN put out an article now 5 hours ago, but this happened almost 11 hours ago, almost 12 hours ago now. Let me see if they even, let me see, I don't know, maybe they covered it. Let's see if they posted
Nothing I do.
Any of their clips. No, let's just type this in super quick. Let's just go South Africa, Israel, okay? Here's Forbes, but they're not really on TV. New York Post, Democracy Now. Here's Politics Joe, Middle Eastern Eye. There's Crux. Oh, here's BBC, that's not the US. The UN posted theirs. Reuters posted theirs. But I'm talking about CNN, like CNN, CBS, Fox News, even MSNBC. I mean, here's The Hill. The Hill covered some of it. But they just didn't even talk, just complete blackout. They didn't even talk about it. Yeah, the article I found on this topic was the article I found on this topic was this: Djibouti refuses U.S. demands to install military launcher against Yemen. Djibouti refuses to have a military, to have a missile silo installed by the U.S. In an interview for BBC, Djibouti's prime minister said the U.S. was allowed to deploy the MIM-104 Patriot air defense system on its territory to protect American military installations in the country from Yemen. However, the U.S. was not given discretion to use Djibouti as a war base against Yemen. This comes after the African country announced its reservations from partaking in the U.S.-led naval coalition, Operation Prosperity Guardian. That's actually what it's called. It's called Operation Prosperity Guardian. It's the U.S.-led coalition effort to stop Yemen from attacking merchant ships in the Red Sea. Saudi Arabia hopped on that too. I know that much. I know like the UK, Saudi Arabia, and the US. There are other countries as well, but I know those three specifically are a part of the festivities. Djibouti's foreign minister, Mohammed Yusuf, Mohammed Ali Yusuf, something along those lines, affirmed that his country does not condemn the attacks from Sana'a in the Red Sea and the Bab al-Mandab. I'm trying my best, okay? Mandab, all right? Considering them a legitimate relief for the Palestinians. Yusuf stated that Djibouti is reluctant to participate in the alliance despite the suspension of maritime trade, and it could potentially harm Djibouti's economy. There we go. Man struggling. Listen, you try to pronounce Middle Eastern Arabic names for 4 hours, okay? And you tell me how good it's going to work out. You tell me how good you're going to be doing it. Yusuf? It might be Yusuf. You tell me how good. I want to see how good you'll do it. Djibouti, see? Easy. So true. So true. Words are hard. Words that I don't know are hard. I'll tell you that much. You try to pronounce Polish town names, I will not. Isn't there a Polish town name that's like 70 characters long? The Houthis, led by Abdul Malik al-Houthi. Let's see if I pronounced that right.
Abdul Malik al-Houthi.
Yeah. We say Houthi. We say Houthi. That's Houthi. Abdul Malik al-Houthi are an Iran-backed group, Shiite rebel group, who have been fighting Yemen's government for about 2 decades and now control the country's northeast and its capital, Sana'a. Sana'a, one of the two. They built their ideology around opposition to Israel and the United States, seeing themselves as part of the Iran-led axis of resistance, along with Hamas in the Gaza Strip and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Their leaders often draw parallels between American-made bombs used to pummel their forces in Yemen, and the arms sent to Israel used in Gaza. In 2014, military coalition led by Saudi Arabia intervened to try to restore the country's original government after the Houthis seized the capital, starting a civil war that has killed hundreds of thousands. Last April, talks between Houthis and Saudi Arabia raised hopes for a peace deal that would have potentially recognized the Houthis' right to govern northern Yemen. Once a group of poorly organized rebels, the Houthis have bolstered their arsenal in recent years, and it now includes cruise and ballistic missiles and long-range drones. Analysts credit this expansion to support from Iran, which has supplied militants across the Middle East to expand its own influence. They have cruise missiles. Bro, can you a Hellfire missile dropping down on some person's fucking Funko Pop from China in a merchant ship? That shit's crazy, man. The world's a scary place. You guys ever think about that? Houthi, Titus. From Arabic spelling, it looks like his name is pronounced al-Houthi, like a th sound, al-Houthi. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for some of the information. Yeah, Mr. Albert Houthi. Is this Yahya? Yahya Sarria, a Houthi spokesman, has said frequently that the group is attacking ships to protest the killing and destruction and siege in Gaza and to stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people. The Gazan authorities say that more than 23,000 people, most of them civilians, have been killed in the Israeli bombing campaign and ground offensive that started after Hamas carried out its cross-border raids and massacres, killing 1,200 people. Since November, the Houthis have launched 27 attacks with drones and missiles on vessels in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden that they claim are heading towards or leaving Israeli ports. The latest was on Thursday at 2 a.m. When a missile landed near a commercial vessel. They are actually firing fucking cruise missiles at Funko Pops. They're actually doing it. My lord, that crazy son of a bitch, they're doing it. Can you imagine you buy some garbage from fucking Amazon and they tell you that it's not going to arrive on time because a Houthi cruise missile bombed your shit? They're already causing a massive shipping interruption. It's insane. Yeah, like we talked about this a bit, but it's instead of goods being sent from like China and India just straight through the Gulf, it's now having to go all the way around Africa and then into the Atlantic Sea. to get to the East Coast, like New York, places like that, to Europe, to South America, Central America, Mexico. It's absolutely wild, the stuff that they're doing. And now they haven't shut down trade through the Gulf completely, but it's really bad. Or the Gulf and the Red Sea. It's really bad. And if there's anything that brings countries together, it's their national, it's their global trade. It's their merchant ships. I'll tell you that much. Perhaps the most audacious Houthi operation came in November 19th when a gunman hijacked a vessel named the Galaxy Leader and took it to a Yemen port, holding its 25 crew members, mainly Filipinos, captive. Not the Filipinos. Speaking to reporters in Bahrain, in Bahrain on Wednesday, the American Secretary of State Blinken warned that continued Houthi attacks in the Red Sea could disrupt supply chains and in turn increase costs for everyday goods. The Houthi attacks have affected ships tied to more than 40 countries, he said. The world's biggest container companies, MSC, Maersk, have said that they are avoiding the region, and shipping companies are left with difficult options. Rerouting vessels around Africa costs an extra 4,000 miles and 10 days of shipping routes, and requires more fuel. But continuing to use the Red Sea would raise insurance premiums. That's really funny. Maersk. Okay, Maersk. MCS and MSC and Maersk. Listen, we could travel 4,000 miles and you spend more fuel in 10 days, but our insurance premiums could go up. Juggling those two things very wisely. Most insurance pilled streamer. I don't have health insurance. Either option would bruise an already fragile global economy. Oh no, don't worry. I know each one they're talking about is millions of dollars, or each one is millions of dollars, and it's hard to actually choose. Just risk getting your Funko Pops turned into ash with a cruise missile, or travel an extra 10 days and cause massive shipping issues around the world. It's either get your shit stolen and cause massive shipping issues around the world, or cause massive shipping issues around the world. I know it's a really difficult decision. The Biden administration repeatedly condemned Houthi attacks in the Red Sea and assembled a naval task force to try to keep them in check. The task force, Operation Prosperity Guardian, brought together the United States, Britain, and allies, and has been patrolling the Red Sea to, in Mr. Blinken's words, preserve freedom of navigation and freedom of shipping. Can you imagine if the Houthis try to attack a fucking because we have aircraft carriers. Can you imagine if the Houthis try to attack an aircraft carrier? Holy crap. We love freedom of shipping here. Isn't that right, chat? We love boats, and it's a really big boat, a really expensive one at that. They already tried attacking Navy ships. Yeah, I think I heard about that. That would be an act of war. Probably. I don't think they're doing that. I haven't heard of them attacking an aircraft carrier. I think an attack on an aircraft carrier is a step too far for them. I have heard about them attacking some other ships. The Eisenhower cost $5.1 billion in today's dollars. Yeah, our aircraft. Didn't we just drop a new aircraft carrier not too long ago? Mellow Cello, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Thank you for the Shark Health Insurance Fund. I appreciate you for that. Thank you. Thank you. I think so. Really, a new one? Yeah, I think a new one got christened. A couple years ago. Yeah, I mean, the Gerald R. Ford class U.S. Aircraft carrier is actually $13 billion. The big one that you really like, the really big one that you think of is like, yeah, it was 2017. We got a new aircraft carrier in 2017. $13 billion, if I remember. Just drop a new one. Give me a new one. Come on, boy. Give me a new one. One more. One more once again. We love aircraft carriers. God damn, we love aircraft carriers. Dude, I'm telling you right now, if like a ragtag group of like backwater Houthis shoot a fucking missile and sink the Gerald R. Ford $13 billion aircraft carrier during Biden's presidency, I'm telling you, he might actually die in the Oval Office. The deep state might, I'm not like a deep state guy, but the deep state might kill him. It might be over. There's going to be a CNN report about how Joseph R. Biden Jr. was found dead in the Oval Office after sustaining a suicide, after died in the Oval Office due to suicide after sustaining 13 self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the back. I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be so over. We need another audit that'll fix everything. I do think the military definitely needs one more audit. How do you defeat a Ford carrier with 75 F-35s on it? Well, hit it before the F-35s get off the ground. That'd be the number one thing. Just bomb it before the F-35s can get up. Jover. Bro, attacking a US like an aircraft carrier must be like attacking a bee's nest. Sneak up on it. It's suicide with the tech we have. Listen. And they said the Titanic was unsinkable. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. They also said the Titanic was unsinkable. They also said no one could escape Alcatraz. All right. They also said they'd never catch El Chapo. That's all I'm saying. Bahrain is the only Middle Eastern country that agreed to participate. Oh, really? I thought Saudi Arabia did. Did Saudi Arabia say no? Wait a sec. I need to see this now. Yeah. Operation Prosperity Guardian. You and Houthi attacks. Oh, no. I thought I heard that Saudi Arabia and Egypt were joining. My bad. Saudi Arabia and Egypt specifically weren't joining. Damn. Are we really? Oh, wow. Biden is actually really alone out there with fucking Bahrain. it's Biden and Bahrain when it comes to stopping the Houthis. You go get him, buddy. Even though many countries in the region depend on trade that goes to the Red Sea, many do not want to associate with the United States, Israel's closest ally, analysts say. Is this, are we tainted that bad now that stopping maritime trade can't even bring countries together? Israel's genocide is so bad that people think about this, right? This is crazy to me. Something as fundamental to like dictatorships, like the princes, the governments, they're okay with like GDP going down simply to not associate with the US. And the UK? Oh, I forgot about them. They're barely a country anymore, but you know, sure, yeah, you're right. They were there. They are there too. That's real. That's crazy. Because a lot of people would assume that, oh yeah, no matter what, capitalism is going to tie all these countries together. Bro, we stink so bad that capitalism can't even tie these countries together. Think about that, dude. Capitalism isn't even strong enough to mend the gap between us and other countries anymore. It can't even do that. It's kind of shocking. U.S. and British warships have intercepted some Houthi missiles and drones before they have reached their targets. On Wednesday, American fighter jets on the aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, along with 4 other warships, intercepted 18 drones, 2 anti-ship cruise missiles, and 1 anti-ship ballistic missile. Central Command said in a statement. On December 31st, the U.S. Navy helicopter sank 3 Houthi boats that were attacking a commercial freighter. Oh, maybe they were fucking coming for the Eisenhower. Maybe they were trying to sink the Eisenhower, bro. What the hell? Did their asses try and sink the Eisenhower? We did put the Eisenhower in the line of fire, but okay. Let's see something. Man, the Israel's war in Gaza has me looking like not even twice, honestly thrice, as at so many news organizations when it comes to specifically Middle Eastern conflicts. And now some people would be like, you weren't doing that already? I was, but I never lived through something like this before. Me like living through it now is something it's much different. What is that background? This background? What do you mean? This background is so hard. This is the album art for the intro to Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 specials. It's expanded, but this isn't the full thing. It's expanded to work as a wallpaper, but it's really good. Is JJK? This is JJK, yeah. This is for like the Shibuya incident. If you've watched the Shibuya incident, then you can pick up some really interesting things. You can be like, yo, base, look at that, yo, base, look at that. You notice some things in there. Don't spoil. Don't spoil you, but you'd probably notice some stuff. There are a lot of ships in the area helping the U.S. Like I know there are a lot of like warships in the area and navies in the area, doing stuff, but specifically signing on to project. I was gonna say Operation Warp Speed, but specifically signing up to Prosperity Guardian, is something that not a lot of countries are doing at the moment. I thought it was a biblically accurate angel. That's crazy. Wait a second. Can I pull up the image? Where did I keep the image? Let's see. No, no, there's that. That's the one I use as a thumbnail. Oh, do I not keep it here? Where'd I put it? Mm-hmm. I think I might have lost it. Oopsie. Whoops. The special one. Is this it? I think so. Yeah. This isn't the full image. Like, it's a smaller version, pixel wise. But yeah, this is what the full thing looks like. If you were wondering. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, I saw it and I was like, I need that. Now, okay, let me see. What's Reuters writing up on right now? U.S. Britain carry out strikes against Houthis in Yemen. I guess enough is enough, and we're bombing the Houthis now. They're going to war with Yemen. Yippee! You guys excited? My throat is actually starting to get a little raw. So we'll cover this, and I might have to call it there. My throat's getting pretty raw. The United States and Britain launched strikes from the air and sea against the Houthi military. Targets in Yemen respond. Sorry. In the air and sea against the Houthi military. And targets in Yemen in response to the movement's attack on ships in the Red Sea, a dramatic regional widening of the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. Listen, I remember how I was talking about in one, I think the last video. Sana'a is, yeah, like I like one of the last videos that we made in Israel. I was like, there's a real possibility of this war broadening out to other countries, and there are people who are like, no, that's not possible. I get it. Okay, I get it. It was not clear if that was going to happen, but with how serious this is, I was like, there's a real possibility of this happening, and you should look out. And then, unfortunately, my assumption that this might happen has been proven right. It's really scary. As witnesses in Yemen confirmed explosions throughout the country to Reuters, President Joe Biden cautioned in a statement late Thursday that he would not hesitate to take further actions if needed. These targeted strikes are a clear message that the United States and our partners will not tolerate attacks on our personnel and allow hostile actors to imperil freedom of navigation. Britain's ministry, I'm telling you, my throat's getting raw. Britain's Ministry of Defense said in a statement earlier that early indications are that Houthis' ability to threaten merchant ships has taken a blow. What does that mean? It has taken a blow. How many did you hit? What did you hit? What did you target? The U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, who is in the hospital due to surgery complications, said in a statement that strikes against Houthi capabilities, including drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles, coastal radar, and air surveillance. That's what they targeted. A Houthi official confirmed the raids in the capital Sana'a. Do I pronounce that Sana'a? Here, let's see. Because it's one of those words that has a comma in it. Not a comma, a hyphen. Let's see. I need to hear this pronounced.
Yemen, the Arab Peninsula's poorest country, is one of the region's richest in history and heritage.
Can you say the name, please? That's it. There's no more that you ran out of voiceover fucking like money. That was it. That was the rest of the video. It was just like vaguely Arab music.
Capital cities in the world. It has a population of Yemen, located. Sana'a is the capital of Yemen, located
Sana'a?
at an elevation of 7,500 feet. It is one of the highest capital cities in the world. It has a population of over 4 million, making it Yemen's largest city. Its urban area makes up about 10% of Yemen's total population. Sana'a is located at the narrowest part.
Sana'a. Okay. We're gonna say Sana'a. Okay. Thank you. Houthi officials confirm raids in the capital, Sana'a, along with cities of Sada and Damar, as well as, oh my lord, as well as other cities, calling them American Zionist British aggression. Witnesses told Reuters that the raids targeting a military base adjacent to Sana'a Airport, a military site near Ties. Sana'a sounds right. Damar. Okay. Taiz Airport, a Houthi naval base, and T's like butt. Hodeidah, sure. Hodeidah and military sites in. You know what? You know what they need? Okay. You know what they need to do? They need to. You know how you'll look up a word in the dictionary and then they'll send you like and then they'll show you like a phonetic way to pronounce the word. That's what they need to do with a lot of these Arab, like a lot of these like words that are foreign to Americans, because I hate the idea of mispronouncing all of these people's words. I need to know how they're actually pronounced. And I can't stop on every one. But anyways, there are also many military sites that were hit. The ongoing strikes are one of the most dramatic demonstrations to date in the widening Israel-Hamas war in the Middle East since the eruption in October, although the US said there was no interest to escalate the tensions. Okay, but like, it's the US. Like, bro, who believes that, man? What are you talking about? One U.S. official speaking on the condition of anonymity said these strikes were being carried out by aircraft, ship, and submarine. We have submarine in the area? Wait. We might have... That means we might have nuclear submarine in the Red Sea. It's possible that we have... If this like anonymous US official is to be trusted, that means we might have nuclear submarine in the Red Sea right now. And if that, man, if that's not scary, I don't know what is really. But okay, sure. I guess. Because nobody really knows outside of a very specific group of people where the nuclear submarines are at any point in time. Nuclear submarine. Thank you, Toaster Cleaner. Just in case I didn't know how to pronounce that one. I appreciate you for that one. Going from we live in a society to war never changes real quick. Nuclear submarine means submarine powered by a nuclear reactor. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a submarine with a nuke on it. In my personal opinion. That's what I'm personally referring to. I do know that the aircraft carriers and the submarines are powered by nuclear reactors though, yeah. Nuclear reactors. I don't like nukes. Personally, not a fan. Personally, not a fan. Houthis, who control most of Yemen, defied UN and other international calls to AUN calls. Is that AUN and other international calls? Is that correct English? Because I know they're trying to say AUN call and other international calls, but they're grouping it in with several calls. So shouldn't it just be defied UN and other international calls? If we have any English teachers here. To halt their missile and drone attacks in the Red Sea shipping routes and warning the United States of consequences if they fail to do so. The Houthis say that their attacks are in support of Hamas. Did they say specifically in support of Hamas? Houthi negotiator Abdul Salam, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He said it has nothing to do with what? It said the attacks in the Red Sea, however, had no impact on peace with Saudi Arabia, he said. A decade after war. Houthi movement strong. Washington says it will continue to stand with Israel. Wait, they didn't mention Hamas in this. What the heck? I was looking for like a quote where they said that they support Hamas. Much of Yemen, decade-long war. A Western-backed Saudi Arabia-led coalition has emerged as a strong supporter of the Palestinian Islamic group Hamas. Wait, this isn't. They didn't say that. Okay, but anyways, thank you, Reuters. Very cool. Palestinian Islamic group that controls Gaza. Israel has launched a military assault that has killed more than 23,000 Palestinians in Gaza after Hamas's attacks on Israel on the 7th. They killed about 1,200 people and 240 who were abducted. Since late December, the Houthi have attacked 27 ships. They said it accounts for 15%. I thought it was 12%. Number keeps changing. Houthi leader said on Thursday that any U.S. attack on the group would not go without a response. So here's the thing, okay? We knew that an attack on Houthi bases would lead to a response. We knew that. And so we bombed their bases. They have attacked ships, but we bombed their bases. Okay, but now what? Like, what's the end game here? If you're not going to just like fucking invade or something, what's the plan here, Biden? What's the plan here besides just like starting a war with Yemen? That's really my question. Oh, their base are bomb Hamas. Yeah, Hamas. U.S. military said on Thursday that the Houthis fired an anti-ship ballistic missile into international waters, into international shipping lanes in the Gulf of Aden on the 27th. The 27th attack since the 19th. The overseas strikes in Yemen came days after the Houthis' largest attack to date on January 9th in the Red Sea, which forced the U.S. and British naval forces to shoot down 21 Houthi drones and missiles fired towards the southern Red Sea. The Israeli military described it as a complex attack. Biden said in a statement that the Houthis directly targeted American ships. Prominent Republicans in Congress welcomed the move, but called it overdue, with some of Biden's Democrats expressed concern that the U.S. can get entangled in another decades-long war. The strikes was 2 months overdue, but it's a good first step towards restoring deterrence in the Red Sea. U.S. Senator Roger Wicker, fucking who? Like I keep up with a decent amount of senators, but the WH Omega Law, who? Who are you? Is this one of those senators that like only vote down party lines and don't do anything besides show up and like say aye when McConnell tells him to say aye and says nay when McConnell tells him to say nay, and then just like disappears any other time? Like what are you talking about? Bro, I actually don't know who this guy is. Do you guys know? I have never heard of this man in my entire life. Oh, okay. He's a Mississippi senator. Okay. He's one of Mississippi senators. Okay. Bro, who? I'm so real. I have never heard of that shit in my entire life. Mississippi at nobody state. Finally, somebody says it. Finally, somebody strong enough to say it. I call him a whacker. I call him Whacker-o. The top Republican on the Senate Armed Services Committee said in the statement, in December, more than 20 countries agreed to participate in the U.S.-led coalition known as Operation Prosperity Guardian, safeguarding commercial traffic in the Red Sea. However, the U.S. and British strikes are taking place outside of that defensive coalition. Biden said Australia, Bahrain, Canada, and the Netherlands supported the operation. Ooh, did they want them to come out? Did they want them to come out and say that? Bro, you're putting the target on your back by saying this type of shit. I'm going to be honest with you. Bro just outed the whole squad. Bro outed the whole squad. Australia, Bahrain, Canada, and the Netherlands supported the operation. The response of the international community to this reckless attack has been united and resolute, Biden said. I'm not sure about all that, Mr. Biden. I'm not sure about that, Mr. Biden. Where's Bahrain at? Bahrain is... Actually, don't know. I was thinking of Djibouti. It's right next to Qatar. Okay. Bahrain is a really small country right under Iran in the Persian Gulf, to the west of Qatar. Yeah, to the west of Qatar, right next to Saudi Arabia. It's actually literally on the other side of Saudi Arabia. If you know where the Red Sea is, like draw a line to the other side where Iran is, and then you should be able to find Bahrain. Bahrain. Guys, I was thinking about learning Arabic. Can you imagine how funny it would be if I just got on stream one day and I could just speak fluent Arabic? That shit would be so crazy. It would be so funny. Apparently it's small, quite tiny indeed. Quite a tiny boy. Melachim. It's difficult. Is Arabic really that difficult? Here, is there like a live update? I really don't want to trust CNN on this one. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, not much lexical overlap. I hate that. Maybe I should learn Hebrew. That'd be crazy. Then I could tell Benjamin Netanyahu to stop killing Gazans in his own language, in the language of his people. Indonesian is pretty easy. That shit sounds like the biggest lie I've ever heard in my entire life. Yiddish? I'm trying to learn something that's going to be useful in any way, shape, or form. Okay, let's take a look at some stuff. Let's read up on some stuff, huh? Third UK naval vessel en route to the Red Sea as Yemen attacks launched. Biden confirms attack on a number of targets in Yemen. Recap of the latest developments. The UK and the US have begun launching strikes against Houthis in Yemen. 9 Palestinians have been killed in Rafah after residential buildings they were in taking refuge in was completely leveled by Israeli airstrike. Nice. Good work, Israel. This is once again the day before they're going to argue in the international court that they're definitely not genociding Palestinians. Good night. Yeah, take care. Biden not keen to face cameras as U.S. launches Yemen bombing. The position of the Biden administration has been the same week for. Sorry, the position of the Biden administration has been the same for a week. There will be consequences for the Houthis if they continue to attack ships in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. The interesting thing is that the White House press pool has been told to go home about an hour ago. That suggests that we're not going to have an official statement from Biden as he's gets involved in another war in the region as he starts bombing Yemen. Remember, Joe Biden was the candidate who said that he was going to end endless wars. Bro, who is this? But now he again, like the other 2 presidents before him, is bombing Yemen, or at least involved in a bombing of Yemen. Clearly, then, he's not terribly keen on facing cameras tonight, it would appear. US, UK attacking Houthi airbase, weapon storage facilities in Yemen. AP journalists in Yemen's capital, Sana'a, heard 4 explosions but saw no sign of warplanes. In a coastal city in Yemen, they said they heard 5 explosions, actually. Third naval vessel is coming to Yemen. UK Foreign Minister David Cameron said he's begun going into Downing Street, where Prime Minister Rishi Sunak resides. We knew that the Speaker of the House of Commons, Lindsay Hoyle, was briefed inside the Cabinet Office on Central Committee on central buildings, government buildings here in London. Therefore, discussions involving the cabinet over the course of the last few hours earlier this evening were seen as very likely to be focused on the possibility of striking Yemen. Biden confirmed the attacks. Houthi officials say strikes hit Yemen's capital Sana'a and Damar. They said that they had raids. I'm not sure if I call them. Well, probably he means like air raids, not like people on the ground, you know. Analysis. Attacks in Yemen, a bad mistake. Former US official. Nabil Cowrie. I don't know. Look, Nabil Cowrie, a former U.S. Deputy Chief of Mission in Yemen, says the attacks on Yemen are a failure of U.S. diplomacy. Cowrie said the situation in the Red Sea has been escalating, with the Houthis attacking ships and firing missiles at Israel in what Yemen rebels said was a response to the Israeli military's continued military assault on the Gaza Strip. With the US and UK bombings, the Houthi targets in Yemen, the Biden administration has effectively become a direct participant in the Gaza war. Cowrie told Al Jazeera. I'm not sure if that's necessarily true, but this can only escalate from here. He said, I think that it's a bad mistake. I think there should have been a better effort to deter the Houthis. If the US and Britain think that this will silence the Houthis, then they're going to have another thing coming. And I think that's like the biggest thing here, is that bombing them is not going to make them stop. Like, bombing them is only going to give them better, like, more reasons to continue firing missiles at us. Right? You can only do some, unless you just want to get into another war, unless you just want to declare war on Yemen just officially. I mean, I guess don't go ahead actually, but don't do that. But this isn't the way to actually reach peace in this region. It says non-operational support from Bahrain, Canada, and the Netherlands for Houthi attack. Wait, so is Bahrain, Canada, and the Netherlands there for fucking moral support? Like, what are you talking about non-operational support? Did they send goddamn cheerleaders or something? What are you talking about? What are you referring to? Did they give hand jobs in like mission control? What are you talking? What the fuck does that mean? Non-operational support. Did they bring coffee? Bring Gatorade just in case? Keep the electrolytes up? They fluff pillows? US UK strikes in Yemen could have destabilizing implications for the region. They send intelligence? Yeah, no, but it's probably intelligence. It's probably like, yo, I see that. Yo, bomb that shit. Yo, I see that. That's crazy shit, right? Yeah, probably. It's probably intelligence. It's almost, when somebody's involved but they're not dropping bombs, it's almost always intelligence. The US and the UK strikes in Yemen are a tremendously dangerous escalation, says an executive vice president at the Quincy Institute for Responsible Spacecraft. The strategy of the Biden administration has been to try to achieve de-escalation by escalation. It doesn't seem to work in the long run, clearly, because the Houthis are likely to not back down. They're probably going to increase and intensify their attacks. Parsi added that the strikes could have ripple effects that include a tremendous amount of destabilizing implications for the fragile ceasefire in Yemen and the wider region. Earlier, we reported that the US and UK began strikes on logistical hubs, air defense systems, weapon storage locations in Yemen in response to Houthi attacks on ships in the Red Sea. Yemen strikes come 24 hours after the UN motion urging Houthis to end the attacks. Explained that there were concerns that the resolution would give a green light. 11 members of the UN Security Council voted yesterday in favor of a measure calling on the Houthis to immediately cease all attacks in the Red Sea, which could impede global commerce and navigational rights and freedoms, as well as regional peace. 4 council members, Algeria, China, Mozambique, and Russia, abstained. James Bays, Al Jazeera's diplomatic editor, explained that there were concerns that the resolution would give a green light to Western forces for military action. And of course, just over 24 hours later, that's exactly what happened, Bays said. He added that the UN Security General Antonio Guterres would be concerned by the attacks because he and his team have been trying to keep a very uneasy peace going on in Yemen after years of war between the Houthi and a coalition led by Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. I think the UN will be very, very concerned now with the military actions that perhaps that very uneasy, fragile peace will start to unravel. It's kind of crazy. They were like, bro, this could lead to more violence. And literally 24 hours later, we go, hey, man, they should definitely stop. And then 24 hours later, we bomb them. Just that quick. Let's see.
Itay! Chen! Can you hear us? It's Etty and
What the fuck is this? I don't care about this.
Some significant breaking news just into us as we have learned now that the U.S. and British military have launched strikes against targets in Yemen, areas of Yemen controlled by the Houthis. This is according to 2 U.S. officials. This, of course, comes in the wake of those Houthi rebel strikes on ships in the Red Sea, those strikes on commercial ships that we've been talking about now for weeks. It is, of course, the potential for a big escalation of the growing conflict in the Middle East. We've got team coverage tonight. I want to start with Gabe Gutierrez, who is live for us at the White House. Gabe, what do we know and where does this go?
Oh, well, hi there, Hallie. As you mentioned, 2 sources confirmed to us that the U.S. and British forces have started strikes against Houthi targets inside Yemen. Now, this is an escalation, Hallie. The U.S. had been trying to prevent or had retaliatory strikes against Houthi forces before, but these are the first land-based retaliatory strikes that the U.S. has undergone. Now, they targeted multiple locations inside Yemen with fighter jets and Tomahawks fired from Navy ships. Now, Hallie, this comes after the White House has repeatedly warned the Houthis over the last several weeks to essentially knock it off. Now, none of these warnings had apparently worked. Today, the Iranian Navy seized an oil tanker off the coast of Oman, raising the stakes here. Of course, the Houthis being backed by Iran, according to the National Security Council here. And the U.S. had been considering targeting these land-based positions for some time now. The U.S. and the U.K. had already...
We were dreaming about bombing this shit, man. Ash Gray, thank you so much for the 32 months in a row. It's been fun. Might resub one day. Just haven't watched the streams enough lately to justify it. Be well. Hey, it's all right. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Much love, moi. I hope you're doing well.
Already responded by shooting down missiles and drones fired by the Houthis. The U.S. Navy recently sank Houthi boats that had fired on commercial ships. Now, today, Secretary of State Blinken was in Cairo, and he said, I don't think the conflict is escalating, but there are danger points, according to the Secretary of State. But again, the breaking news there, Hallie, that 2 U.S. officials confirmed to NBC News that the U.S. and British military have launched strikes against the Houthi militant group inside Yemen for the first time, Hallie.
Raf Sanchez, I want to go to you now, live for us in Israel, in Tel Aviv. And Raf, we have talked now for weeks about the potential for a broader regional escalation, particularly after these attacks by Houthis in the Red Sea. We know there have been more than 24 on commercial ships, commercial tankers. This has been an issue that the U.S. and allies around the world have been trying to get a handle on.
This has been an issue for 2 months, Hallie, and the Houthis, week after week, attack after attack, have been defying the U.S., defying America's allies, and continuing these strikes on commercial ships heading through the Red Sea, through that narrow strait called the Bab el-Mandeb. Around 20% of global trade disrupted by these Houthi attacks. According to the U.S. government, you have ships, rather than going through the Red Sea, through the Suez Canal, and into the Mediterranean, are now taking this very long route around the southern coast of Africa. The Houthi attacks have
oh yeah, as just in case you were guessing, the attacks on Yemen were not authorized by Congress. It was just straight up Biden. Biden was like, I'm bombing this shit. No ifs, ands, or buts. Your God is mean. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Nice to have you. Hello, partner. Nice to see you. The debate guy from last night was heckin' dumb. Yeah, he was low
driving
IQ.
up
It's
the
okay.
cost of shipping, costs which have been passed on to consumers all over the world, and it has become a situation that has become untenable from the perspective of the White House, from the perspective of the British government. You've heard Secretary Blinken, as he's been here in the region over the last week, saying again and again, there will be consequences if these Houthi attacks continue. And they have continued. Just yesterday, according to the U.S. and British militaries, the Houthis launching their largest, most complex attack yet. 18 drones, 3 missiles fired at ships in the Red Sea, despite those warnings from the U.S., from the U.K. These strikes have been very highly telegraphed, Hallie. The Houthis have known they were coming. They have put out warnings of their own, saying that they will respond to any American attacks, and they have options in terms of targets. Commercial ships in the Red Sea, American bases in the region, but also Saudi Arabia, oil facilities there, which they've targeted many, many times in the past. So we're seeing these American and British strikes coming now. The question is, how will the Houthis respond?
How will the Houthis respond? Probably like how you expect them to bomb, to respond, bombs. You know, as we all would imagine. So this is just him being like, oh yeah, we're gonna start bombing. We're gonna be bombing. Okay, well, see how that works out for you, Mr. Biden. We need to take more power away from the presidency. Like, I've been thinking about this recently. It's been a bad decision I don't really care about what the founders have to say with a lot of stuff, but they were kind of cooking with that whole the executive should not have that much power. But then over the course of the country, we've been giving them a lot of power. And it seems a bit detrimental for us in many ways. Shooting the Hootens. Holy shit. Is this what the bombing looks like, bro? Wallahi, I'm finished. That's crazy. Okay. All right. All right, Biden, here we go. Oh, wait. This might be from 2015. This might not be from this bombing. This might have been from another bombing. It wasn't from this Yemen bombing. I think this was from another Yemen bombing. This is Obama's bomb. This may easily be Obama's bomb. Man, what the hell are we gonna do? What are you gonna do? What's the plan? What are you gonna do now?
Whatever they do, whatever they among with them, we don't fucking give a shit to them, and we don't care, and they will never scare us. They will never stop us. We are coming from Yemen, from Sana'a to Palestine very soon, inshallah, because we are with our leader, Sayyid Abdul Malik Badruddin al-Houthi, and we know that we are in the right side, so no one can stop us.
Yeah, I don't know about this, man. I don't think Mr. Biden, I don't think this was a good idea. Mr. Biden, I don't believe this was a good idea. Yeah, here we go. All right, well, let's see how that works out for him and us, I guess, because he's dragging our asses into this shit too. Yeah, this is the dark side of Dark Brandon. Thank you for stream. Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you. My throat's kicking my ass right now. My throat's kicking my ass right now. Oh yeah, we can raid it. We can raid Riverboat Jack, because I don't think I'll have a voice tomorrow if I keep this up. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. I'm gonna send you all over to Jack. Riverboat Jack of the Riverboat variety. There you are. All right, join the raid. Join the raid. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you for coming out tonight. And I hope to have you back again for another meme stream. Have a good night.